This week on Code 4 TV, surviving a facial shot, T-Hawk flying drones in city space, and parking meters that wave you in to park. Welcome to episode 112 of Code 4 TV. I'm Joe Puckett. It's a great day in our world and a busy week in public safety, so let's get it started. Well, researchers at the University of Maryland are beta testing a smartphone app that will stream audio and video from a 911 caller to the campus dispatch center. The application, currently called V911, allows contacting the emergency center with the touch of a single button and then allows dispatchers to see and hear what is going on at the scene automatically via the smartphone. Researchers report the application may be available to many users by year's end. Well, last month, a patrol trainee with the LA Sheriff's Office was shot in the face during a routine contact with a suspicious male. Deputy Ahmed Mohammed and his FTO observed a suspicious white compact vehicle occupied by two parked in a red zone. The FTO recognized the male operator as a parolee, Nestor Torres, and they stopped to contact him. The deputies exited their vehicle to make contact. Torres exited his vehicle, and during a path search for weapons, Torres pulled a gun and shot Ahmed in the face at close range. Torres immediately turned his weapon to the FTO. The FTO was in close proximity to Torres and was able to deflect the suspect's weapon, now pointed at his chest, and shoot with his own service weapon, killing Torres. Department personnel report that Deputy Mohammed's condition is not life-threatening, but he has received a serious wound to one of his eyes and part of his face. Let's take a moment to remember Deputy Mohammed and his family in our prayers. And for you, I would like to reinforce your survival mindset. When it comes to gunshot wounds, remember, you can survive. Well, China has recently released video of their new jet-propelled firefighting water cannon. The device uses turbo engines from a Chinese fighter jet. The cannon can spray up to 4 tons of water per minute. And the fire apparatus, which costs nearly $500,000 to build, is designed to spray a high capacity of water at such a high volume and speed that it actually blocks oxygen from feeding the fire, along with the water content dumped on the fire. Local firefighters believe, however, that adding good fog nozzles or adding soap to the water application is still more effective than this new Chinese method. Officers at the Miami-Dade Police Department are looking to become the first PD in the U.S. to use unmanned drones. The agency acquired 2 T-Hawk micro-air vehicles in 2009, which the technology has only been used to date in war zones and along our borders. Miami police personnel have been testing and training with the drone since acquiring the equipment and is now in its 3rd phase of the program. The final phase may be the toughest, however, as this requires FAA to grant approval for the drones to be used in police operations and surveillance over a major U.S. city. So far, the FAA has not been accepting of other police agencies using the drones over the last few years, including Sacramento Police in California. Somerset Borough Police in Pennsylvania found themselves exposed to a deadly gas when responding recently to a suicide call. Officers were called a couple of weeks ago to the parking lot of the Public Welfare Department for a truck which displayed a sign saying "Call Hazmat." When police arrived on scene, they found a man in possession of a jug of chemicals standing outside of his truck. He was in the process of attempting suicide. The man had mixed 2 household chemicals together in the jug, which created hydrogen sulfide. While taking the man into custody, 2 officers were briefly exposed to the deadly gas. Both were treated and released at a Pittsburgh hospital for what doctors describe as a secondary exposure to the gas. The International Chiefs of Police has recognized the importance and the demand for social media in the public sector. Last year, they created and have recently expanded the Center for Social Media. This resource is designed to assist agencies with establishing a social media presence on the internet. Specifically, they help with setting goals and helping the agency develop a social media policy. The IACP recently did a study and found that 80% of U.S. law enforcement agencies use social media, and 68% of those agencies have a Facebook page. More information is available at iacpsocialmedia.org. Well, finding a parking spot in downtown San Francisco will soon be just a bit easier. By the end of March, the city plans to have completed the project of replacing 5,000 old parking meters with new high-tech meters. The new parking meters will accept credit cards, let users pay from their phones, and will also alert you of an available parking spot through a smartphone app. Upon completion, San Francisco will be the first city in the nation to complete the project. Several others are eyeing the new technology but have not taken the step to upgrade. The project was funded by a $25 million federal grant. Well, this year's Super Bowl promises to be one of the safest football events ever. More than 100,000 people are expected to pack into the Texas stadium, and it is expected that there will be just under 5,000 trained security and law enforcement personnel staffing the stadium. Local streets will also have increased patrol and plainclothes staffing, as well as an increase in air marshal presence on airplanes flying in and out of the North Texas area. And finally, law enforcement officials have a growing concern over recent trends in seeing brightly colored firearms showing up in gun shops and in the local streets. California officers have seen recently a bright pink gun which is painted by the manufacturer to attract female gun owners. They are also seeing brightly painted guns showing up in the streets in what they believe an effort to get cops to think less of the firearms. One trend has been to use what is called Duracoat, which comes in some very dramatic colors to coat the firearms. The safety issue is that many of these guns begin to look like toy guns, especially in low-light situations, and may become a danger to officers in the form of a deceptive threat. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Code 4 TV. If you have a topic you would like for us to discuss, send a note to me, joe@code4.org. You can also socialize with us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching, and have a great and safe day.